Whoa, hey there. Hi. Okay, so we're gonna start this off the same way as that last one. It's gonna be a little tricky for that. This next one is gonna be involving more addition. We are going to have less pictures to deal with, so this is a good practice for you to be able to make your own pictures. It's kind of why we've been using those dots, making our own dots on our pictures so that they can kind of help us with solving addition problems when people don't give us pictures of birds sitting on fences or bags full of apples. We can kind of make our own. So today we're going to do addition, developing fact fluency. Fact fluency just means you get faster and faster as you're doing addition. It happens naturally as you practice with addition. While you keep using those numbers, eventually you're going to start coupling them together and being like, oh, I know those two numbers equal this answer. But today you're just going to practice on working on getting a little bit faster with them. For your work today, you're going to need a page out of your workbook, or your student journal, I mean. So this book. And then we need page 93. It's got a little green fish on it, and it looks like a big purple track with number problems on it. And I'm also gonna recommend for this that you get a little piece of paper to cover up some of these problems, because this looks like one gigantic problem the way it is. And a little piece of paper will kind of help us focus on just the one problem that we're doing at the time. So I'm gonna use like a Post-it note or just a piece of scrap white paper to kind of block out everything else, so we can just focus on it one problem at a time. So I've got some problems set up. I've got to hand off the camera to Miss Stark so that I can do the work. And you and I will just kind of blast through some problems real fast, and then I'll show you how to do the page. And again, I'm just gonna turn you loose on this because this is kind of me letting go and letting you guys show what you know and just remember all the things that we've been talking about. So I'm gonna pause it and we'll be right back. Okay, so what I have done is I've kind of made my board kind of look like the page that you're going to be working on today, in that it has a whole bunch of addition problems on it, okay? It looks very overwhelming when you look at it all at once, but that's why we're going to only work one problem at a time. And it has no pictures, and we're gonna kind of make up some drawings as we go while we're solving it. And again, start thinking of numbers that you're like, oh, I know those two. If you put those together, if you add them together, they're gonna equal this number. I've been working with those, I know. I didn't leave myself a lot of room for the drawings that we're gonna make, so let's see how it goes. Here, look at the crazy board. Don't look at it one at a time. Look at the whole thing. Doesn't it make your brain want to explode trying to think about doing all these problems all at once? That's the problem with looking at math and thinking about it, doing it all at once. Math is a series of steps. Like, you take the first step before you take the second step. You do it one thing at a time, and if you do it that way, it's not overwhelming, it's not scary. You just do it one thing at a time. And if you don't know that one thing, you just keep working on it and you'll learn it eventually, or you will ask us questions and we'll be able to help guide you through it. So don't ever feel like it's too much like this board. We're gonna do it one at a time, and one at a time is not too much, okay? So we got our problems. I didn't draw any pictures, I just gave us straight numbers. We're gonna focus on this one right here first, okay? So you do gotta kind of know what the number looks like. So at this point, if you're still struggling and you don't know what that drawing is, what number that's supposed to show, you might need a little bit of help with this. There's no problem with that. Just keep trying to remember what they are. Hopefully you do know what these are. If you don't, you can always look at like your number track that you have made for yourself earlier in the lessons. There's a page in your book where there is a number track where it's just the numbers in a row. That'll help you out if you're still working on this part. Okay, so our first problem is still addition. We're still taking two numbers, we're adding them together, and it reads like this. 3 plus 1 equals blank. Again, plus means we're adding them together. Equals just means that there's the same amount of stuff over here as it is over here. We just want the same number. So to help me with this, I'm gonna draw my little dots. I know that this is the number 3, so I draw 3 little dots. Plus, this is the number 1, so I'm gonna draw 1 little dot there. And that helps me with knowing exactly what's over here. And I know that I need to have the exact same amount over here, so all I gotta do is count the dots now. 1, 2, 3, 4 dots. So over here, I know that I need to draw the number 4. So that's one's done. We can even check it. 4 dots would look like this. I got 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Our equal sign means that those are the same on both sides. So we did that one correctly. All right. This one right here is going to be one of those that I can just kind of write them down too. This is the number 1. It gives me a 1 dot. This is the 4. Make 4 dots. And I count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I know that 5 looks like that, so I can do the number right over there. 5s and 10s are going to be the name of the game. When you start figuring out what numbers you can add together that equal 5 all the time and what numbers you add together that equal 10, it'll change the game with math. You're going to see a couple of those on our board here. So we have 2 plus 1 equals blank, we don't know, or 2, we're adding 2 and 1 together. So we do our 2 dots, we do our 1 dot, and then we count them. 1, 2, 3. There's 3. I'm going to skip this one down here. Well, never mind. We'll look at it. So this is 2 plus 0. This is an important number. It comes up every once in a while, and some people are like, what is that number? I didn't count that, because we always ask you to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Sometimes you don't think about 0. 0 just means that there aren't any things. So if I'm going to draw it, I draw my 2 first. So there's 2. And then 0, I just don't draw anything, okay? If I'm adding these 2 numbers together, I need to have the same amount over here. That means I count my dots. 1, 2, and my answer is 2, okay? I didn't add anything to it. I didn't change anything to it with that particular one. So 0 is kind of an interesting number in that it's telling you not to add anything when you're adding it to another number. So it gives you a chance to practice around with that. This is another one of those fun little combinations that you will get to know a whole bunch. We're going to draw our 2 dots, and we're going to draw our 3 dots. And that'll be our dots that we need to count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2 plus 3 equals 5. That's another one of those cool combinations that will equal a 5. Those are one of those ones that you will get very, very acquainted with. 2 plus 2. 2 dots and 2 dots. 1, 2, 3, 4 equals 4. 1 dot, 1, 2, 3 dots. That equals 4. And 1, 2, 3 plus 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is another one of those combinations that equals 5. These are the same thing. We just mix the numbers around. So I'll come back with you. I'm going to pause it right now. I just want to show you. I'm going to pause it right now and I just want to show you how fast I could do these. That's what Fact Fluency is all about. Getting faster and faster as you go, so you don't have to think about quite so many things, so you can do more advanced things later. I did blow through it. It's still super complicated, but we just did it one at a time, and I'll work through the page. I'll show you how to do the page in the same way, so it won't be too overwhelming while you're looking at it either when I come back. Now you know. All right, so we have got to the part of the video where we're going to look at the page that we're going to be working on today. I am hoping that this is recording the right direction. I had to do it a couple times. So we're going to look at this page. It says addition, developing fact fluency, write the answers on the racetrack, start 2 plus 2 equals blank. We have a whole bunch of different problems to do, just like our board that we were showing you earlier. But I want to show you a trick that I use to help me focus on only one problem at a time. Because like I said, we only have to do one thing at a time, and that's this one problem. So what I did is I took a Post-it note. You can use a piece of paper, you can use a book, you can use whatever, but I'm going to put it on top of that second problem so I don't have to mess with it right now. I don't worry about it until I get to that problem. I'm going to look at 2 plus 2 to start. Some of you might know what 2 plus 2 is right away. That's totally fine. You can write your answer here. If you don't, use your little dots. So for this number, I'm going to draw 2 little dots. And for this second 2, I'm going to draw 2 other dots. Once I do that, because we're adding these together with this sign, I know I can just count them. 1, 2, 3, 4. The number 4 goes right in there.
Because that's done, I get to move on to my next problem. So I'm going to scoop my little paper over. And I already did this once, so you kind of see the answer right there, but I'm going to use my dots again. Here's 3 dots for that one. And I'm going to draw 1 for that, and it's 1, 2, 3, 4. So I write the 4 right there. You guys have all these different problems. Use this piece of paper to try to block off the ones that are coming up, just because you don't need to worry about them until you get to them. That way you can focus on the ones that you are working on. You're supposed to work your way down this page, all the way down to here to the finish line. Finish up all those problems. Try to do it a little bit faster than you did last time. That's it for today. Keep working on those addition problems, and we'll see you next time.